Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Kamiliya Zahra Alamsyah and my BP number is 20107322032. In this video, I would like to explain our first topic in conversation analysis subject, which is the brief history of conversation analysis. There will be 3 points that I would like to explain. First is the birth of CA. Second is the key figures in conversation analysis, and the last point is CA's distinct place in linguistics and sociology. Now let's move to the first point, which is the birth of CA. So the birth of CA is pioneered by Harvey Sachs, where he examined a corpus of recorded telephone calls to the Los Angeles Suicide Prevention Centers, and because of it, it increases his interest in how conversation analysis could be analyzed. His research comes to the explanations that there is the possibility of investigating utterances as objects which speakers use to get things done in the course of their interactions with others. In other words, conversation analysis is always related to and shows the interactions between people. His finding also shows that there will be a pair of units of interactions in conversations, for example, greetings, question and answer, and others. Those interactions are systematically organized and in order. Schegloff then also studied the conversation analysis. Specifically, he studied the stages in the openings of telephone calls. The findings in his study are that there are deals between the speakers in the exchange when they are using the paired units, as what I mentioned before. So basically, the birth of CAs is around late 1960s until the early 1970s by Harvey Sachs and Schegloff. And also in conclusions, so the field of study of conversation analysis is come from the recordings of real-life interactions. One important thing that occurs from Sachs' study is that there is critical relationship created from the utterance in the interactions. CA but focuses on the analysis of text for its argumentations and explanations in the process of productions and interpretations. Next, let's move to the second point, which is key figures in CA. As what I mentioned before, in the birth of CAs, there are several names which is related to the conversation analysis. First is Sachs, where Harvey Sachs is a student of Columbia College that graduated in 1955. He then became a scholarship awardee at Yale Law School in 1959. And around 1960, he decided to work in the field of sociology at Berkeley, where he met Schegloff as his students. Then he, together with Schegloff, started the research while doing his job as fellows at the Centers for the Scientific Study of Suicides in Los Angeles. The research was started because they are interested in the relationship between humans and communications. And also, the research was started because they are interested in the relation between sociology and humans communications. The first case that started the research and data is come from the staff of SPC and their conversations with the callers. When the staff are going to ask their names. But on many occasions, the callers usually refuse to give their names. These problems make Harvey start to wonder what on occasion should in the opening calls make the callers give their name. These problems are the starting point why conversations analysis are existed or the research are done or started. Next name, key figures is Schegloff, or Emanuel Schegloff is the student of Harvey. They met in Berkeley, and in 1964 they worked together in the research because Sachs asked him to do the research with him. Together with Harvey, Schegloff analyzed the CA, and during the research, Harvey recorded his lecture and sent it by mail to Schegloff. Next is Jefferson, or Gail Jefferson. She is the one who transcribed the data of conversations by using the symbols of typewriter from the typewriter and computer keyboards. It is because she is the typist in the Department of Public Health in UCLA, and it's also the reason why she put interested in the research of conversation analysis. She is also one of the students of Harvey, and she found the method of conversation analysis turn-taking. The last point is CA's distinct place in linguistics and sociology. So basically, in the understanding of sociology, conversation analysis is about the relationship between humans, and it puts focus in the social interactions between people because it analyzes the conversations, where we know that conversation is between people to people. So that's why they are and have a relation in sociology. And the place of CAs in linguistics is because CAs is discussing related to language, and they use language to communicate. So that's why they are in the field of linguistics. It is also study the structure that used by speakers in the interactions. So this is my explanation and brief reading report related to the history of conversation analysis. I thank you for everyone that watched this until the end. I'm sorry for mistake. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.